to give another prize away because I am the prize patrol. All right. Is this a T-shirt? Another T-shirt to be given away. Wow. If you are in possession of ticket number 2551, you win a T-shirt. 2521. Good job.
Welcome back to Beaver Sports Talk on the Beaver Sports Radio Network. We are happy to be joined by OSU women's basketball coach LaVonda Wagner. Good evening, Coach.
Good evening.
Let's get right to it because time is ticking away. The Arizona schools in town, Arizona State, 11th ranked in the country Thursday, and then Arizona Saturday night. But before we move to that, I listened to both games virtually in their entirety this past weekend on the Beaver Sports Radio Network with Todd Mansfield's call. Those were exciting games, and the way you played against UCLA, particularly in that second half, and to beat them for the first time since 2001. Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you.
Nice
Thank you.
win for you.
Thank you. My team played very well. They played hard, and we came out in the second half, and we were the aggressor, and we attacked. We went to the free throw line, as we just talked about, one time in the first half, and that was something that we talked about at halftime, that we needed to get to the charity stripe often, and we needed to make those, and I'm proud to say that we did that.
13 of 17 the Beavers were from the free throw line in the second half after going 0 for 1 from the line in the first half. So you executed the plan, but you got to make those free throws, and your players really did, and down the stretch, too, when it counted.
They did, and we try to put them in the pressure situations every day in practice with those free throws, and there's always a consequence and a cause, and the cause is really to be able to close out games, and the consequence as well, down and back. So we were able to do that, and right now we're ranked number 1 in the Pac-10 in free throw shooting, so that's important.
So a great win against UCLA, 56-52. After the game, Coach Reinking was crediting Ashley Allen in terms of her defense on Noelle Quinn, a two-time All-Pac-10 player who had to work for everything. 5 for 14 from the field. Pretty good effort there, huh?
Very good effort. Nicole Quinn is going to be an All-American. She is somebody that's a tremendous player in this Pac-10 conference, and she does a lot of things for them. And so we knew we had to limit her touches and make her take some shots, jump shots, and really off balance. She did take one at the end of the half, a runner from half court, and made that, or we would have went up in the up in the game. So, that was one of those shots, and Ashley Allen did a tremendous job on her, and I'm just really proud of Ashley because her defense is something that she needed to work on.
We have a call for Coach Wagner on the Dutch Bros Beaver Sports Talk hotline, toll free at 877-600-6433. Randy in Corvallis, good evening. You're on with Coach Wagner.
Hi, Coach Wagner.
Hi, Randy.
Hi. I just I wanted to say we really enjoy the intensity and the effort your players show on the court. And I've been wondering, what do you look for on the court?
Well, Randy, it's funny that you would call and ask me that question. Prior to arriving here to the radio show, I was just on the phone with a recruit who's going to be in the 08 class, and we were just talking about the will to win. And she told me that she works really, really hard in practice and tries to get her teammates to work really hard so that the games are easy. And I just laughed, and I said, where does that thought process come from? Because I say that every single day. And she said, that's just the way I am. So that's a kid that went from, maybe at the bottom of my list all the way to the top, because it's a mentality that is hard to teach. And you just got to, have kids that want to get better every single day and that are willing to push through some things and are willing to leave it on the floor. And if you can find a player like that, you need to really pay attention to him and try to recruit him. And the ones who don't have that coming in, you figure out as a coach how far you can push them, how to push them, and how to get the best out of them every single day.
Randy, thank you for the call. If you have any questions or comments for Coach Wagner, give us a call on the Dutch Bros Sports Talk hotline, 877-600-6433. We will take a quick break from McMenamins. Thank you, Randy, for the call. Back with more with Coach Wagner after a quick timeout on the Beaver Sports Radio Network.
All right, we have another T-shirt to give away. We have 2 more prizes, this one and then on our last break. And the last break will be the sweatshirt. But this is an orange T-shirt. And the winning ticket number is 2542.
Welcome back to Beaver Sports Talk. Mike Parker joined by OSU women's basketball coach LaVonda Wagner. We're going to talk a little bit about the USC game here in a moment, but more what's next. Of course, 11th ranked Arizona State Thursday night. And we're excited about that game for a lot of reasons. It's a very good team, coach, in Arizona State, so we'll get to them in just a second. But to complete the weekend in Los Angeles, you get the great win against UCLA. And against USC, I'd be interested in your evaluation of how that went. It looked like the Pac-10's leading scorer, your own Casey Nash, and you have the leading rebounder and leading field goal percentage person in Judy Lomax, too. But in Casey, some foul trouble probably hindered your effort to win that game, I would think. She missed a lot of stretches because of that. Take us through that a little bit.
She did. She got her 3rd foul in the first half, and the problem I have with her 5 fouls is 4 of them were player control fouls. They were offensive fouls, and, unfortunately for us, we weren't able to get a call. But she sat down most of the first half and a lot of the second half and went back in, and we were down 6, and we pulled within 2 at the 4:36 mark. She gets her 5th foul, and it's an offensive control foul out of a trap. It was 30 feet away from the basket. So to me, that was kind of tough. But, we just battled, and then they went on a 22-8 run, and they went to the free throw line, 7 straight times. That's 14 points. So, the outcome of that game was decided on the free throw line, which is, it's hard, but that's the way it is. It's adversity, and our young players, we can't put ourselves in that position.
Tell us about Thursday night, a great opportunity against a team that's really on a roll, averaging about 80 points a game, Arizona State. Tell us about the challenge ahead.
Arizona State's ranked 11th in the country. They average the most points in the conference at 79.4. They have a tremendous guard play. They're very good at the guard spot. They have all the weapons imaginable. They have 3-point shooters. They have players that can get to the rim off the dribble. They have a 6'6" post player who's very long and lean to the rim. They have another post player who plays a 4 spot who's an inside-outside combo guard. They love to run in transition. They rebound the ball. The thing that I like about the team is they play in your face 40 minutes, 94 feet defense. And they can do that because they have 15 players, and they do platoon substitution. They sub in 5 at a time. So they don't really mind if someone fouls out or if someone gets tired. They have another one waiting in the wings. So they really play the game in stretches with different people. They have 3 different teams that they throw at you. They have a pressing team, they have a half-court team, and they have a transition team, which is a really good thing to be in, a really good opportunity to have. So it'll be a huge test for us to be able to compete against them, and we can't get in foul trouble because there's not a lot of us. But I think this is an opportunity for us to grow and get better. And at the end of the 40 minutes, let's evaluate and see how we did.
And in that regard, when you talk about those waves that they're able to bring 5 at a time, you don't have that luxury. So you've already touched on the challenge that they pose in that regard. Do you have? Is it on your table, on your plate to try to dictate your own tempo in this game? Is that a big question in this one in terms of who can control tempo?
Well, absolutely. We can only control what we can control, and we've got to be able to, I think, take the air out of the ball and slow the game down, and we'll see how that works. But, we can't get in foul trouble, and we're not that deep. And, the last time we played them in the Pac-10 tournament, we lost to them by 8, and we really led most of the game, and they just wore us out. Fresh legs just wore us out. And I look for them to do the same thing this year and do the same exact thing. We have the same number of kids. But this is a great opportunity for us. It's about us. It's not about them. And we've got to get better, and we don't worry about the things that we don't have. I mean, that's a waste of my time. And so we worry about the things that we need to do to get better as a team and how we're going to get this done. And at the end of the game, we'll evaluate what happened and see how many minutes we gave back. You know, we played an 80-minute Pac-10 weekend on the road at UCLA, Poly Pavilion, and we played really well for about 37 minutes, and then we gave 3 minutes back. And then we go to USC, and they're brand new, beautiful Galen Arena, and we played pretty good for about 33 minutes, and we gave 7 minutes back. So now let's see what we do against a top-ranked team in the country. We haven't really played a top 10 program, and my student athletes don't know what that's about. Being at Duke, that was every night for me. That's exciting. It'd be a little bit more exciting if I had a little bit more kids, if I had more than 9, but it is what it is, and so we'll see what happens.
We'll take our final break, come back with a little more with Coach Wagner. If you'd like to join us tonight, toll free 877-600-6433. Beaver Sports Talk. Thanks for joining us along the Beaver Sports Radio Network.
It's all in the prize package. It's all in the prizes. Okay, we've been teasing you all night long with T-shirts, and now the big prize, a hooded sweatshirt, as modeled by Chad. Model it, Chad. All right, here we go. And enough silliness. 2557. Ticket number 2557. You are the winner. Thanks for playing. Okay, I'm supposed to call another one. 2530. 2530.
Welcome back to Beaver Sports Talk along the Beaver Sports Radio Network. A plug for television tomorrow. The Beaver All Access Show featuring OSU coaches Jay John and LaVonda Wagner. You can get a look at it tomorrow at 2 o'clock on Fox Sports Net Northwest, and that is filmed. And you're invited to join the coaches at Big River here in Corvallis Monday mornings at 11 a.m. when the show is shot. You're invited to come down and watch that, and then you'll see the completed project first time tomorrow, 2 o'clock, Beavers All Access, the basketball show on Fox. And we hope that, speaking of the next game against 11th ranked Arizona State, Coach, to be back at Gill with the students back. I mean, I know that in terms of the energy that teams can derive from playing at home, when the legs get a little tired, that's a big thing. You'd love to see a big crowd there.
Love to see a big crowd. These young women deserve it. They play hard. Our style of play is not pretty. When we walk into a gym, a lot of the teams look at us. We're not very big, and we don't have there's not a lot of us. They look at us, and they're just kind of like, what in the world? And then the ball goes up, the popcorn starts popping, and we just go to work.
And Judy Lomax certainly fills that description, because she is, as I mentioned, the Pac-10's leading rebounder. She was 13 for 14 from the field on the weekend. And you say it's not really a function of doing it on style points per se, but just outworking people.
Outworking people. I said every day in practice, we do not get points for style. The bottom line is we've got to score one more point than the other team. The ball's going to go in the basket, or we got to get to the free throw line. Let's get something out of this possession, and let's just go to work. And Judy does that. I mean, she's pretty strong. She's not very big, but she just works at it.
Mm-hmm. And Casey Nash leading the league in scoring at 19.9 per game. had a stretch, and there's something about the UCLA game I wanted to ask you about. We've talked about her absence against USC. It certainly was a factor in the game. But you're down by 3 at the half at Pauley, and she scored your first 10 points of the second half. Was that by design, or did she just get into
by
the zone?
design? She hit 5 shots in the same spot, back to back to back to back.
Wow.
And she would have hit another one, but we got called for a moving screen, so she would have had 12 points in the same spot.
Okay, very good. Now, is that just something you said, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to do
Absolutely.
it until the
Absolutely.
well runs dry?
We're going to bleed it until the blood stops.
And in that regard, for her, averaging about 20 a game, it doesn't stop for her very often this year. She's doing a nice job shouldering a lot of that load, it seems.
She is, and now that, we're getting deep into the conference schedule, a lot of people are face guarding her, double teaming her, pulling at her, pushing her, and it's going to get harder for her, and so we got to get harder in practice, so she's used to that.
Well, Coach, we're glad you're back home this weekend for Pac-10 play and hope that Beaver Nation will come out in strong numbers Thursday night, 6:45 on the Beaver Sports Radio Network, 7:05 tip at Gill against Arizona State. Saturday, we haven't even touched on Arizona, but I think in this conference, it goes without saying you're going to face an athletic and good team in Arizona.
Very athletic. They have all the weapons. They have a 6'7" post player. They've got a set of twins on the wing that are very athletic. They have a point guard that can shoot it. One game at a time right now. We're looking at the Sun Devils, but after that, we'll see what we can do.
Okay. Well, Coach, thanks for joining us,
Thank
LaVonda.
you.
Let's hear it for LaVonda Wagner. Thanks for joining us tonight. All of you, thank you for your attention here tonight at McMenamin's on Monroe. We'll be back again next Tuesday night at 7:05. Get out and see the Beaver women's basketball team this Thursday night, and the OSU wrestling team, nationally ranked under Jim Zaleski, against Cal State Fullerton this Sunday at 2 o'clock at Gill. And we'll talk to you from the McHale Center in Tucson Thursday night at 5. Thanks for joining us tonight on the Beaver Sports Radio Network.